joining me today to end the season is Roger Keys. Thank you very much for joining us, and I've got to say thank you from us on behalf of Motorsport Media and everyone at Cool Fab that's been working this season for putting on such a fantastic series. Can you just sum up how it's been for you as a whole?
Hard work, let's be honest. There's been a few occasions when people haven't agreed with my decisions, but that's one of the ways life goes. But in general, the kids and the adults have produced fantastic racing all season, close racing. Going down to this round, I think there was 2 championships still outstanding to be won, and I think that it's really good to watch that. And you're getting it on TV, you still almost see more than I do, which is quite amazing. But I'm up in the timing office and race control, so I'm able to look at it from both angles, but I'm always looking the wrong way apparently when somebody falls off, but I do my best to be looking the right way. But really it was brilliant for Evan Belford, and also because I don't actually know the championship results, you've beaten me to it. So the 50 winner was actually Kyle Payne, I think, wasn't it? And again, very close. Yeah. I think second was it equal points? It
was equal points between Crosby and Bannister as they came across the line for the final race, so it was very close to call indeed.
Yeah, so I think that will go down to number of wins, and obviously we'll check that, but the computer should do it. So with a bit of luck, that'll be fine. We're already looking forward to next year. And I'd like to say to the riders that are moving on, and there's several of them moving on to British Talent Cup, that you've done fantastically well here. Now show everybody else how fantastically well you can do there. We've already got riders who've been in that championship already. We've got obviously winners this year. We've had Scott Ogden and Cameron Horseman finish first and second in that. Very likely they'll finish first and second in Moto Star, which is fantastic for us as well. It looks really good. I think Elliot Pinson has won the Supersport 300. So this is the place to be if you're going to go places.
It is indeed, because we've had the likes of Scott Redding, Brad Ray, Scott Ogden as well, Cameron Horseman, as you've mentioned, Elliot Pinson, and we've also got a whole raft of them going up next season to the British Talent Cup. Evan Belford, who is of course our reigning GP70 champion, Belcher Campbell, Eddie O'Shea, who's been doing it this year, he'll continue doing it next year, James Cook as well, and of course Harrison Crosby. What are you expecting from these riders that have come from Cool Fab this year, and what do you believe they can do in 2020?
Well, we've got to be realistic. In year one, it's the youngest age they've ever allowed riders into British Talent Cup at 12. Well, certainly in the UK. Originally it was done through Dorna, so Dorna was able to get that permission, but we've got permission now for them to run at 12. So they're going to step straight off mini GP70s. Let's be honest, they'll have some practice in Spain in the winter, probably on NSF 250s, which are the Cup bikes. And I'm fairly confident they will do reasonably well, but we've got to be honest and say that the experienced riders, Eddie O'Shea and Harvey Claridge, for example, are obviously going to have quite a big advantage on them, knowing all the circuits, having ridden the bikes a lot more. But I do expect them to do reasonably well despite that.
You've worked with a lot of the young riders through the Fab series and later the Cool Fab series for many, many years. How do these young riders that come through this year compare to what we've had in past seasons?
Well, it's really strange. We've always had 1 or 2 good riders come out of a championship each year, but I think this year we've had quite a glut of really good riders. I mean, when you get a race where the lap record goes 3 times and to 5 different riders, it's got to be exceptional. And when a 6th place rider eventually takes the lap record on the last race on the last lap, I mean, that's incredible. We've never had that before. We always had 1 or 2, but I think we've got 6 really good riders in the 70s. We've got some really promising riders in the 50s who'll probably move up to 70s next year. And I think they'll really show everybody how good the system is. Don't forget, they start at 6. They start on the mini motos. They go for rookies. Then they go to pro, and then they go to elite. Then they go mini GP50, mini GP70. That's a good set of stepping stones to get them there. I really expect them to do very well. And incidentally, we didn't mention that Danny Kent was actually a world champion, and he started with us. And Luke Mossey, we didn't mention him, who also started with us.
There was a lot of riders.
I can go on and on, to be perfectly honest.
You've got a long list of very successful riders that have come through the Cool Fab series, and there's still many more to come. We mentioned the mini bikes. You can start off at 6 years old there. We've had some great action all through the season from the youngest riders, starting off in the rookies. For anyone that's wanting to get involved in 2020 and beyond, how can they go about that?
Well, the first thing to do is send us an email, send it to mail@fab-racing.co.uk. If you do that, we'll make sure that we contact you, tell you how to proceed, but we need to know the rider's age, what he's done before. If anything, if he's done nothing, we can make sure that, they get the right progress.
Roger, it's been an absolute pleasure working alongside you in 2019. One last wee thing, what is the plan going ahead for Cool Fab in 2020 and beyond?
We're going to continue very much as we are. We're going to continue producing great riders, and we're going to have some really good coverage by Motorsport Media.
And indeed we will. Roger, it's been an absolute pleasure as always working alongside you, and the 2019 season is already come away, but we've got a glut of riders on the circuit now, ready for a podium presentation. I believe, Roger, you may have to go and get yourself involved in that, so we'll send Roger Keys away. Roger Keys done a brilliant job of the racing and keeping the series going in the Cool Fab Racing